The market just closed, and welcome to Smart Investing. We're gonna do the usual market update right now. So stay tuned until the end of the video. It's not gonna be too long, and we're gonna recap what happened yesterday and today, and where I think the market is going, right? So let's start with the usual QQQ. So basically, the market today is almost flat, minus 0.33%. Let's switch back to daily candle. Still a usual recovery shape. Sideways since the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, just trading sideways. We arrive at a level where if we break above the 520, we're gonna go straight to all-time high. So the market, after a huge gap up, is deciding whether it goes to all-time high or if it's gonna first gap fill this gap here. So that's mean going to retrace back to 484 and then move back up to all-time high. Normally there is a gap fill that needs to be happening because this gap usually get filled at some point. You know, at some point it's gonna get filled. If you look back in history, you see, gap up, then it gets filled. Gap up, get filled. You know, that's the theory. It doesn't have to be filled, you know, but that's the usual process. Gap up, get filled. Otherwise, we almost have fully recovered for QQQ. We are just positive for the year to date, and we are only 5% from all-time high. So if you look at the S&P 500, same story. We had a huge gap up. So are we going to retrace back to 570 to go back to all-time high and then maybe breakout? Or are we going to go straight to all-time high, maybe retrace and then go breakout? Or are we going to all-time high, trade sideways and then breakout? Let's see what's going to happen next. But we are actually in a very interesting time in the market, and the market needs to decide its direction. So it seems like at the moment they don't know yet, but soon they will know what they're gonna do, you know. What is interesting is that we are arriving at a critical point with the TLT, and for the rate in the market, you see the long-term rate are going low, higher and higher and higher, and we can see that we are reaching the 85 limit for TLT, which is extremely, extremely low historically. You see the lowest it has been, it was back in November 2023. And we reach a level of 82.5. So the funny thing is that the stock market is going up despite the rate going up, which is very unusual, you know, when rates are going up like this or going back up like this, and there is no sign the Fed is going to cut rate anytime soon. Usually the market doesn't recover that fast, you know, or doesn't break out that fast, you know, because the discount factor is higher, the valuation must be lower. But we are not in an unusual market. We are actually witnessing a lot of things that we are not used to witness in this market. The VIX is still oscillating around 18, which is a good level, you know, it's nothing extremely high or extremely low. The lowest we have been for 2025 is about 14. So we still have some room to go down, but 18 is a fair level, and we shouldn't be too worried. And then we see that the rate has come up quite significantly today, you know, the US 20 years rate has been going up 1.2%, 30 years 1.3%, the 10 years almost 1%, and the curve is relatively flat, you know, between the short-term rate, which is 3.9, the 10 years 4.5, the 20 years 4.99, almost 5%. We actually almost go back to 5%, and the 30 years 4.96. And that's extremely worrying, especially with the debt situation of the US. If they have to refinance the debt, they have to refinance at a higher rate. And that's give a lot of pressure on the treasury to really, and that's why actually Donald Trump is making a lot of pressure on Jerome Powell to cut rate, because they want to refinance the US debt at lower rate. So the low Max 7 today is down, except Tesla slightly up. Tesla has made a massive recovery from the lows of 220. Now we're back to the 350. I mean, Tesla is a very, very unusual stock, like the same for Palantir. I don't understand how this stock is moving, but never mind. Mag 7 is actually oscillating for the last 5 days around the marks of 52. We're still quite a fair bit below the all-time high. All-time high is 12% up. It's at 12% up, so we should actually, we still have a fair way to go up, but we still recovered a lot. We recovered about 35%. Rally of 35% in just few weeks in April and just few days of May. So 1 month and a half, you have a full recovery of 35%. Extremely high return, extremely high return. Other than that, nothing really major happening in the market. Many stocks flat or slightly down today. Palantir minus 0.59, SMCI minus 4.51. I mean, what do you expect with Palantir? To give me your opinion on the comments. What do you expect with Palantir? It's already fairly valued, 500 times earnings. Do you think it's going to carry on rallying to 1,000 times earning, or that's going to be a double top? And then it's going to retrace back to, again, the 84. Leave me your comment, because this stocks is very, very unusual. Very, very unusual. Okay, now if we go to economic data, are there economic data today? Let's see. Today, yesterday, nothing really, just Fed speak. Today also a lot of Fed speak, nothing really important. Tomorrow, nothing really important. It's just on Thursday that we have some key economic data that we're gonna have some impact in the market. Like we'll have the continuing jobless claim, initial jobless claim, S&P Global PMI index. These are job data that are quite important for the market. And then on Friday, nothing really important. So, and apparently on Sunday, Jerome Powell is going to speak at an event. Sunday, 25 of May, we're going to have Jerome Powell speak on the Fed policy, Then let's see what's going to be said. But otherwise, nothing really important for the Fed. Let's look at the headlines of the market. S&P 500 fall after 8.6 trillion surge from lows. Yeah, huge surge from the lows. Unprecedented recovery of this market, I think we have never seen such a fast recovery after a crash of 25%. Maybe COVID has been as impressive as this one, Very, very, very fast. So there are a lot of pressure on the dollar because of the downgrade of the US debt, and also CTC weaker dollar after G7 meeting, and as US softened tariff, KKR bonds, portfolio shock absorber, Tesla supplier. Nothing really, no headlines really against the market, no headlines for the market. The market seems to have a lot of support. No impact at all on the downgrades of Moody's, of the national debt of the US. I mean, that's not surprising. This rating cut was expected for a long time. Reaction on the market. It's pretty normal. So other than that, I mean, we're gonna make it short today because nothing really important happened during the market yesterday, today. So we're not gonna invent something that we need to talk about. So the market is trading sideways. The direction is unclear. Leave me your comment. Where do you think the market is gonna go? And I'll talk to you tomorrow after the market close for a usual market update, and I will of course make some preparation for talking about the other stock specific investment like United Health. I want to make a video on United Health, so please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Thanks so much. Have a good evening.